morning, everybody. We are back with another episode of the Pristine Connections podcast. We are here with our newest member of the group, Christy Crowder. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What were you doing before? Just family, all of that.
So I grew up in Maypearl, Texas. I'm half Texan, half Louisiana. So then I moved to Louisiana and graduated from there. Went to Louisiana Tech for a little while. And I've got 2 boys. They're teenagers, so that's fun.
Super fun, yeah.
Oh, for sure. They play sports. They play for Irving now, so that's really, really awesome.
Yeah, what sports are they in?
My youngest does football, track, and basketball. My oldest is in football.
That's awesome. So you're always running and gunning then.
Man, I love it.
Yeah, I bet. So varsity, how old is your oldest?
My oldest will be on varsity this year.
Okay, that's exciting.
He'll be a senior, and my youngest will be a freshman.
Aww. Is he thinking about going to college? Is he wanting to go back to Louisiana, maybe follow your footsteps?
I think he's wanting to go to the military.
Oh, okay.
That was his most recent.
Yeah. Hey, that's huge. That's really great. Does he know what branch
Terrifying.
he's interested in?
I don't think so.
No, not yet.
He changes his mind a lot, so maybe he'll just stick with football and go play for the Cowboys. Well, what?
Yeah, hey, for sure. That's awesome. So kind of talk to me about what you were doing, job-wise before. I know you obviously joined the Connections group, but what's your passion? What were you doing before this?
So I started off with a great company, Market Source, and I started off in Minden, Louisiana at like a little bitty Walmart, and I was a mobile concierge. So I was just like helping customers with devices and things like that, and I loved it. We were able to take that store to #1 in the nation within like 6 months, which was awesome.
Wow.
And so I got moved to a new program that they had out here in Texas for ZTE, and that's what brought me back here. So that was cool. Then I had like 300 stores, so I got to learn how to drive in Texas from a small town. And it's still scary. I've been here for 7 years now, and I'm still not nailing that. But I just really like to go out and talk to people, get to know them, and help. Like, I like to work with products that I know I can fit to a customer, something I would use and that I know is good for people like me.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what kind of products? You said devices, so like electronics, is that what you were mostly working with?
Yeah, like cell phones. I started with cell phones, but I also worked on the smart home program here in Frisco, actually.
Okay.
They have a Home Depot here. Y'all are like one of 10 or 12 stores that they had nationwide that has a smart home actually in it, your Home Depot. So if you ever go up there, check it out.
Nice.
So we got to learn all the like smart home products. We flew out to Georgia and learned about all those. So I know how those work together.
That's great. So from there, you transition. I know you like to do marketing. You have a marketing background. I know the last company you were with, you were doing a lot for them in that realm. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, that was one of my favorite positions as well, because they just reached out to me randomly on LinkedIn, and they were like, hey, we have a spot open for a national account manager. You can take over this whole brand, do the marketing, get it off the ground. And they'd had it for a couple years, something totally brand new to me. And it was very fun. I got to go in there and take it over and do all the brochures, like come up with the whole marketing, everything.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's really great. So what got you into networking? Obviously, you doing branding and fun promotional items is very different from just day-to-day networking, meeting with individuals. So talk to me about kind of your experience with networking. What groups are you part of?
Okay, so with the last role I was in, I traveled, a lot with, I flew all over, like Chicago, New York. So I'm wanting to stay in town in Texas a little more with my boys because they're in high school about to finish out. So I definitely wanted to try something local, and networking is really that's where it's at now. Yeah. So it's very new to me, but I love it because you get to meet a whole bunch of people with like the same passion and the same drive, and it's been really fun. Everybody I've met at these events have been super, super nice. I love it. And I love like how they always do like a thank you. Yeah. And they get referrals. It's been really, really cool.
That's great. What groups have you been, going to outside of Pristine Connections?
The chat was really awesome. And teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember the names of all of them, but they've been really fun. There's one that I love that's at lunch on Wednesdays. But they're really, really nice up there. I don't know the name of it.
There's
Kim is
some-
runs it, though.
For sure. There's some really good like women's groups as well. So if you ever want to just feel like empowered by other women entrepreneurs and business owners, there's a lot of great groups like Polka Dot, Powerhouse. I know a lady that does that. There's just a lot of opportunity for connections. So tell me about your time with Pristine Connections. I know obviously you just started in this role, but just talk to me about the group, things that you really enjoy about it.
Yeah, so what I really like about this is that I'm going to be able to help grow it. So it's something that's really pretty new, and it's just taking off. So I'm going to be able to learn with it and grow it. So that's going to be exciting. Like, that's what I'm good at. I'm good at building brands and expanding them.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to that. And I like this also because the networking part is new to me. Like, I'll get it, but I like what we do because we do a lot of marketing for the customers and stuff like that as well. So whenever you come and join the group, you get a lot of benefits. Like, it's not just there for referrals. It's there to like build your business and get like the technology part of it that you might not have down up there. And that's like podcast. Who does that? That's awesome. Like, it's something that's really catching on, and y'all are new at, like, y'all are the first ones, like Pristine, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the roles that you were doing before, I'm sure learning different devices, dealing with customers and clientele at some of the Walmarts, and just being over these companies, do you have any crazy or funny stories from the past?
Well, yes. So when I was on the track phone program in Minden, I would come in and there would be like a whole bunch of customers just waiting on me to get there, because I would always help them like do things with their phone, like if they needed me to delete stuff because they didn't know how, and things like that, or switch it over to a new device. Yeah, things like that. But I had this one guy come in all the time, and he had stuff on his phone that he should not have on there.
Sure.
And so it was causing his phone to go really slow. And I was like, well, this is why your phone's going slow. And he's like, yeah, sorry. And he just had me keep deleting those, like, at least once a week. He would be in there and be like, I don't know how it happened again. I got a virus. Like,
Yeah.
it was really crazy.
Is this during the iPhone era? Like, was this the introduction of smartphones, or were we
I don't
still
even
on?
think he had a fancy phone.
Yeah,
He just was going to websites he should not have been on, and he was
Sure.
getting viruses from them.
People are interesting. It's amazing how technology's evolved over the years, and just how, while we're so connected because we have our phone, we're very disconnected. And
Yes.
little things, people are like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I 100% agree with that. And that's another thing that I really wanted to get in with this business, because especially during COVID and stuff, we all lost touch. Like, I used to be so, outgoing. I had so many stores that I went to and things, but after COVID, we were locked in and shut down. So just being able to get back out there and learn how to communicate again is very beneficial.
Yeah. I mean, that is definitely a benefit of networking. I think there's so many different groups. Every group's ran a little bit differently than the other, which is why Pristine's such a great one. But it's really just getting that face-to-face back. I mean, do you do a lot of one-to-ones with individuals that you've been meeting, or, I mean, what's that been like for you?
Yeah, so like before the meetings and stuff, we talk and we meet and we exchange information and things, and then you set up appointments to meet with them afterwards and discuss like your business a little more and learn about theirs. And it's been good. Like, everybody's been really, really awesome.
Yeah, that's really
It's really difficult getting right back into it though. Like, when you are so used to just being at home with your two boys, or being in the office or working from home, it's like really, you'd be after being home for so long, people would be really surprised getting back out there how much more difficult it is than you would think it would be, just to learn how to communicate again and be you again, like out in public. It's crazy.
For sure. What would you say? So just give some advice maybe to like the younger generation that might be new to networking or interested in trying to just tap into different networks and businesses for their own. What advice would you give to them?
I would definitely say do networking, like get out there and get off of your devices. You can do some virtual ones, I saw that too, but it's really important to get out there and meet people and keep the communication, because you're going to lose those skills if you don't use them, really. So definitely networking is a great opportunity, especially for a younger generation, because this is the new generation and this is what it's going to be about. So podcasts are great, things like that. Get with the group that has other benefits as well, like connections that can help you with maybe your SEO, the back end, and the podcast, or has a magazine, stuff like that to really help you get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. what are some of the biggest risks that you would say that you've taken in business? Obviously, you moved states for a brand new company, to just continue to grow. So talk to me about some of those risks that you've taken.
Yeah, so that was the biggest risk probably, because it was just me and my two boys, and they were young back then. Like, they weren't teenagers yet, so they were still Swedish. But it was difficult because everybody they knew was there. Everybody I knew was there. So just to come all the way over here, just me and them, start completely over it was really challenging. But it was also awesome. Like, it was exciting. It was a new opportunity for us, and to go from a small school for them to a huge school like here in Irving was really, they fit right in. I loved it.
Yeah. Well, in Texas high school, sports is huge anyway. So.
And I love sports. Like, I'm super competitive. I'm that loud mom on the sideline running up and down.
Hey,
everybody knows that. They're like, that's Christy, that's Ashton's mom.
So we're the blind side. I'm just kidding. Did you play sports?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
In Mayfield, actually. So
awesome.
I did track and cross country and cheerleading. I did cheerleading in Homer, Louisiana, too. Captain,
awesome.
My senior year.
Yeah. Wait, so are you a Saints fan or a Cowboys fan?
Cowboys.
For the Cowboys. All right, I'm just checking.
Anybody says Saints fan.
I don't know. Like I said, my mom's from there, and she's definitely a Saints fan. She hates the Cowboys.
Everybody in Louisiana loves the Saints. But that's fun. That's what's fun about football. It's like I get to have all my friends, and we're always back and forth.
Really awesome camaraderie. So do you do fantasy?
I don't know how. I've always wanted to try it, though.
Yeah, you should. Just get on
I need to find somebody to teach me how to do it, because it sounds awesome.
For sure. Well, do your boys
Is it like
do
Madden? It's like Madden, right? I used to play Madden. You pick your players or something?
I mean, yeah, you pick your players. There's so much that goes into it. I don't even know. I know people who get like very into it.
Right,
like,
I know.
Don't talk to me during games.
Everybody
I'm
talks about it all season.
Even
Even on the TV now, during the games, they talk about fantasy, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So it's definitely something I'm going to try to get into.
You should, absolutely. So talk to me about kind of goals, where you see yourself. I know, obviously, just starting in this position, where would you like to see it go?
I'm really excited about helping it grow. Like, I want to get the name out there. So whenever people are networking at different events and things, they'll be like, hey, also you can add this group and come here, because this is what it does for you. Mm-hmm. We're not trying to take anybody from their events that they already go to or groups that they're already a part of.
Yeah.
It's different than just like a networking group. This is like a team to help you with your business as well. And it's like marketing. It gets you out there. Like, the magazine is really great. It's things that you don't really find anywhere else.
Right.
Very unique. So I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be really fun to grow it, and like bringing it to Irving, and then maybe like the Dallas, Fort Worth area and Houston.
Yeah, just expanding it to possibly different locations. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, once groups really start to thrive and they branch out, it just adds extra connections, extra opportunities, because while we may be on this side, you're in Irving, a lot of the networking groups I see, the more people you add, people still do business all over DFW. They might have service areas, but it's okay. Like, they're still willing to drive to Fort Worth if they need to, just depending on.
And they don't really know about networking. Like, I have never seen a networking group in Irving or anything like that around there. I've been looking them up just to see if it's big up there or down there like it is up here. Yep. But it's not. So it's definitely something people need to know about.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being intentional with your time. You're obviously having to go to different networking groups and meet with different people. So I'm sure you're big on time management, big on time blocking.
Trying to figure all that out. Still working it together, because it's quite a drive from Irving up here. But I'm getting there. Yeah, absolutely. But it's really fun. And there's so many events up here that you can go all day. You can go all night. They've got night events that are really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me a little bit more about your passions, because you've done so many different things that are very intriguing. So I just want to know more about just you personally.
Well, my passion with work-wise would definitely be marketing and just talking to people and explaining things like that they didn't know about that can really help them. But my personal life always definitely been my boys. So they're really, really tough kids, good kiddos, and they're doing awesome. Like, I love sports. So my favorite story about him, he's short like me, like I'm 4'11". He's probably 5'1", 5'2". He'll never get any taller. He's stuck like that.
That's all right.
I was like, so when he started to do track, I was like, just don't do pole vault or hurdles.
Yeah.
And he comes home and he's like, I'm in pole vault and hurdles. What? He got first place.
Good for him.
What? In pole vault. and hurdles. That's insane. Like that's what keeps me going. That's what makes me be like, okay, if he can do anything, I can do anything. Let's do this.
I love that.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Like he really is my inspiration. He's awesome. Like
Yeah.
you go, kid. He did that just on purpose.
That's awesome.
It was.
Is there any other advice or, just information that you would like to share about networking in general, about Pristine Connections Group, kind of just before we wrap up?
Definitely, I would say come to our events that we have on Tuesday mornings at 9:30 at Boomer Jack's. I think it's in Allen, right?
Allen Fairview, yeah.
Allen. Because that's where you're going to be able to meet people and learn more about it. We always have a speaker or we'll play a game or something like that coming up soon. Hopefully start those. I went to an event last week we played a game. We played telephone. That was really fun. So that's definitely something that we should try one day. But we have a magazine article that comes out, and we just had our new issue this month come out the other day, right? And we do the podcast, which is really cool. And then we've got SEOs that works with your webpage. And we do referrals for you, like on Nextdoor and LinkedIn. We'll go through and find who needs your service, and we will literally go on there personally and recommend you to all these different businesses.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a huge add value for potential, members, non-members, just finding, what makes them go, who they need, and really how to expand.
I can't wait to try out poker night. That's going to be fun.
That's next Monday for sure.
And casino.
Yes, casino night's a really big one, and we have a new location we'll be talking about here soon for that one as well. But it's a great time. So,
awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you as the face of Pristine Connections Group right now. So thank you for your time, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.